Hello, hi. Welcome to the new video. Here in this particular video, I am going to share one of the recent interview which I was attended as the DevSecOps engineer with 3.5 years of experience, and it was the first technical round which is directly conducted by the company which is hiring for the in-house project. The company was Supply Wisdom, and they are looking for a candidate who have both a kind of DevOps come DevSecOps experience. And okay, without further ado, let's enter into the discussion. And before that, there are two panel members in the interview, and mostly one interviewer covered questions regarding the Kubernetes, Docker, as well as Jenkins, and another panel member covered the remaining topics also. And there are mostly observed in this particular interview, which was most of the scenario based questions, and also asked to write a Docker file as well as a script for monitoring the service by using bash script. I will, in depth, I will share the each and every question in this particular video. And in the upcoming video, I am going to share the corresponding answers also, so that it will be very much helpful for those who are preparing, and whatever the inputs I wanted to give from my end, that will be helpful for them who wanted to take it. Okay, so without further ado, let's enter into the video. And also one more thing, I will provide these questions in the description. Kindly check it out, and also be prepared for yourself, and try to consider share this particular video with your friends or colleagues who are preparing or mostly in the similar phase. Okay. The first question was, can you go ahead and introduce yourself? It is a common question. The second question was, mostly scenario-based questions only. This was the one of the scenarios. Suppose there is a zero downtime, zero-day vulnerability you found from the Kubernetes or Docker. What's your procedural response process to mitigate a risk in? Actually, it is not a procedural response. It is an incident response actually to mitigate a risk in present environment. And the next question was, suppose there is a high severity vulnerability flagged in production, and you are using some security tools in CI/CD scan to scan those. How do you investigate and resolve that? What is your team structure and strength? How many projects you handled? Is it internal or client related? Suppose some of your team members accidentally committed AWS secret key into a GitHub or any code repository. What is your immediate response plan, and how do you prevent that do not happen in the future? The next question was, suppose you used a Trivy and scanned a Docker image, and you found multiple critical CVEs in the base image as that application is running on, and if it's in a production release, you wanted to remediate without any delay and downtime. How do you remediate that? What is your approach? Okay, and the next question was, what is the time frame to resolve the critical, high, medium, and low vulnerabilities? Suppose there was an intern in your company was given a administrator access by mistakenly. What risk will be identified, and how do you enforce least privileges going forward to any new intern or someone new to the team? And the next question was, suppose you load suppose you load hosting your production. One moment. Yeah, actually I was confused here, like what is the load like that. Actually it was a workload. Suppose your workload is hosting on your production workloads in US East 1 region, and it goes down due to some reason. How do you design a multi-region failover factor using a AWS services? And the next question was, your Jenkins agent is compromised by a malware. What steps will you take to ensure pipelines are secure and credentials are not leaked? And the next question was, a Docker container in your production starts consuming 100% CPU. How do you detect if this is a crypto mining attack and mitigate that particular situation? Next question was, your Docker images are like some 2 GB and your system is very slow. How do you optimize those images regarding the size wise, I think? And the next question was, your app is running on EKS, has a latency, but CPUs are working fine. What else would you check in this particular situation? Share your screen and write a script to, I think this was the last question from the first interviewer till 15th question, last question. From 16 to till 25, the second interviewer asked these questions. And this was a practical question where interviewer asked to share a screen and write a script to check if a Nginx service is running, and we need to restart that particular service if it's not running. And regarding basically Nginx service monitoring. Okay, and the next question was, interviewer asked, are you familiar with the Docker file? And after I said yes, can you write a sample Docker file for Next.js application? Can you explain the same file whatever you have written? And are you familiarized with Kubernetes? I mean, whatever the questions came here, these are like, the secondary interviewer, whatever the questions he was asking, he asked first, do you know that particular concept? After saying yes only, he was proceeding, otherwise he was not moving with that particular question. Okay, so you can see similar questions like here. In the Kubernetes, a pod is stuck in a Kubernetes with a crash loop backup. Can you walk me through the exact steps and commands you are trying to diagnose and resolve it? You have listed security scanning tools. Are you familiarized with those? How do you integrate those tools into a Jenkins CI/CD pipeline? Are you familiarized with the Terraform? In a Terraform, if two engineers apply changes at the same time, what happens to state file, and how do you prevent that particular corruption? If a container cannot reach a service on another container by host mission, how do you debug and fix that particular problem? Are you familiarized with the AWS cloud security? And this was the question. In AWS, if an S3 bucket has a resource-based explicit deny, but your IAM policy allows it, what happens? How it was working like that? And are you familiarized with the SonarQube? What is the quality gate in SonarQube, and how would you enforce it in Jenkins? Are you familiarized with OAuth ZAP, and how do you run ZAP in CI/CD pipelines without GUI? That is a graphical user interface. By using only CLI, we need to run. How do you run that? And the last question was, do you have any questions? I basically ask what is the end project structure, or and the team structure actually, and the project tool and technology stack I asked. They explained the same. Yeah, these are the questions which was covered in this particular interview. And stay tuned for more videos. I will definitely share further more videos. Definitely that is going to be helpful for you for your preparation. And thank you for watching.